given this keynote on what is the metaverse and why broadcasters should care not too long ago. And just really briefly, I mean, the whole concept is that you have some kind of persistent experience that can move with you. It's not one platform per se, but we were locked down, as we all know, and very quickly during the pandemic, Travis Scott had a Fortnite concert with 27.7 million uniques, and there were 12.3 million concurrents. And of course, Sony PlayStation State of Play is doing great work. I mean, we're now at a point where with esports, and certainly what happens on Twitch, where the door is kind of open for larger events, and certainly the imaging that the Alan Bukharias of the world are creating. Alan, what do you see as sort of, you don't have to spoil a gig that you're about to do, but do you see more of these kinds of events coming because of what you're doing?
Absolutely, and not just in like the film. Well, I think the main thing is it always has to be kind of interactive and engaging, right? So like,
yes.
And that's what this really does, is like having these like meta worlds or metaverses that can have that you can have people that interact with the artist in a new way. And
right.
We're dealing with like 2 generations of people that were like raised on interactivity, right?
Well, I mean, League of Legends has now been around for so long, it seems, and kind of jumped in the last 5 years to the point where you've got this real-time global universe that just doesn't care that it's 2 a.m. in Mumbai and whatever time it is where you are. So much so that this imprint that kind of went away, but I thought it was one of the coolest things, and of course it was the Swedes who did it. They were too cool. But Enter Music was a Universal Music imprint that was basically creating music to be played during Twitch events, during esports events. Why? Because they suddenly realized that if they dropped it into these tournaments, you'd get people from all over the world who were then streaming it somewhere. And it was kind of a brilliant way. But I think that we're now at this point where the higher resolution, but even 2D, I mean, what's your take on where things like Verbal are going and 2D content in terms of large scale?
2D I don't think is going to, I mean, you mentioned it, you mentioned it, the generation has changed.
Right.
And the interactivity. I have a 23-year-old son that I can't get off the computer, haven't for years, but that's his communication mechanism. But he's involved, and it's interactive. Everything is interactive. You look at a lot of the gaming, a lot of the esports, and also the video gaming that's going on. It is no longer just a game being played.
Right.
They are participating in the event. They're either watching, they are chatting, they are communicating throughout the whole thing, and the visuals are getting better and better, and they're developing it. It's become a complete ecosystem, a complete entertainment system now, and the infrastructure is supported. There are companies that have literally built their underlying infrastructure to support that whole entertainment environment for just gaming.
Right.
And I don't think the 2D piece is going to be there anymore. The 2D piece is going to be on top of the interactivity part.
Or
go ahead.
Well, maybe in a way it's also kind of like leading towards more interactivity, and like the ultimate interactivity, right, is like VR or something where you're super engaged. So I almost feel like at a certain point they're just going to intersect and become, it's going to evolve into something. I don't know, I'm just thinking off the top of my head.
Right, but no, but that's exactly, my point in terms of this evolution of what is a metaverse that you have.